All right. Says we're live. Usually the saying is they say if you're on time, you're late. I say if you're on time, you're early, I guess. But I am looking forward to today's slate. Our first real, I'm not even sure if I'm gonna call it real. It is a real course race, not noble, but our first real race ish of the season, I should say. Let me pop the chat out, get everything set up here. Apologize for being a little bit later than normal. Hopefully you took the over today, but we have a fun one. Actually have some practice to talk about. Some interesting lineup decisions as well, because outside of a couple of guys, I mean, it can be a bit of a chalky slate just due to some of the PD plays or just really the track house guys. But other than that, I think we can definitely have some nice decisions to be made today. It's not just random PD plays in the back, and that's really the only thing I've been able to say the past couple of weeks. Right. Get everything situated. I'm already built as well. Hopefully, the weekend keeps going strong. Trucks went extremely well at St. Pete. Actually, at St. Pete's right above me, like an hour or so. I wish I would have been able to go, but that just really wouldn't have been possible. But race went great for DFS. Actually, ended up hitting rigs on. I said I'd never do it, but I did download Kalshi, however you say it, and did some live bets on there, hit rigs live as he was moving through the field. So I am officially on there. I'm going to test the waters and see how live betting goes over there. I was assuming the market probably wasn't too sharp, so we'll see if we can take advantage of that. And then Xfinity went well too. I faded Connor Zilich. Thank you, Corey Day. It ended up working out well. But yeah, hopefully today goes well, and looking forward to it for sure. All right, let me see what we got up top here. What's up, Johnny T? Favorite cash and tournament core 14 for FanDuel today. Thanks as always, CP. Good to see you, Johnny. Yeah, it's going to be really the same on both sites. I think you have to start with at least one of Connor or SVG. I do think a lot of people will go with both. My personal preference today is picking one of them and then getting a bit more balanced. I'm not saying you can't play both, but the way when I look at builds, I think one looks the best, because if you play both of them, you have to dig down to this range, and let's be honest, it's pretty much just complete garbage. I like the way it looks when you pick either one of SVG or Connor Zilich, and your cheapest driver can end up being like a Daniel Suarez. And then all of your drivers have legit top 10, top 15 upside. So I'm kind of liking the more balanced approach with that. It's just such a hefty price point to pay. But after you figure out whatever you want to do with those two, my preference is Shane today. I do think he's going to be a bit faster, and I trust him more. And I do think with the upped horsepower this year, COTA, I think that's just going to benefit him more. We should see more tire fall off, and I have a hard time seeing anyone compete with Shane once the tires start to wear. Other than that, when it comes to cash games, whether it be DraftKings or FanDuel, I think Kyle Busch has to be the number one option after that. He's pretty darn solid at COTA. Was really good here last year. Going to be starting in the back. I know he's washed. He's the washed old man in the series, but he's really difficult to get away from. But after that, it gets a little more tricky. I do think Daniel Suarez is an excellent option. Either way, maybe more so on DraftKings than he is on FanDuel. But it gets really difficult after that. If people are going double spend up, they're probably looking at guys like Riley Herbst, Ricky Stenhouse, Eric Jones, any of these jokers, and that's what they are. I mean, none of these guys are going to have speed today. It's just going to take a little bit of chaos, a little bit of random shuffling and variance after stages for that to work out, which it's possible. I'm sure one of the two of these guys will end up working, but I don't think any of us should really sit here and act like we know which ones it's going to be. Ryan Blaney is also a big question mark on this slate. I personally like him, and he's also the one guy I really do not know how to project as far as ownership is concerned today. I have him currently projected to be pretty chalky today. I know he starts fourth. I know he's not really known as a road course ringer by any means, but the practice speeds are hard to ignore. He's top 4 in Vegas odds. I mean, it's still Ryan Blaney. He's shown speed in the past on road courses. I can't remember if it was Sonoma or Watkins Glen last year where he was a top 5 car all day, then ends up just driving it off into the mountain. But I think the speeds, I don't think he's going to be the race-winning car by any means, based off even just looking at his practice speeds, that would kind of indicate that. But I think if he can just kind of hang around the top 8, if you trust the practice speeds, you could go with him in cash, but it's definitely a lot more risky, especially when you have guys like Alex Bowman starting 12 spots further back. You have Ryan Preece starting in the back in 29th. I get it, but I really am struggling with the Ryan Blaney. ownership projection today because I don't know how much people are gonna bump up their exposure on him because of the practice session. But I talked him up a lot. I'm sure other places have talked about it. If you just go on the NASCAR app, you can see he was the best man in practice. So I think he's gonna get the ownership bump today, but he's been a very tricky one for me as of right now. And then I believe someone just asked top 5 to win the race. I mean, of course, number 1 for me is going to be SVGs at the very top. Now, I'm not close to what the market's asking for. They're asking nearly 50% of the time. But after practice and qualifying ended for me, I mean, guys like Ross got bumped up, Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney, Tyler Reddick, if I didn't mention him already. Connor Z did dip a bit. But I still have Shane as the clear-cut winner. I'd be very shocked if someone tops him off. I do think Tyler Reddick, of course, going for the three-peat, does have the ability to do that. But after SVG, we have Tyler Reddick, Connor Zilich, Ross Chastain, Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney. What's up, Sean? Who are my 3 favorite cash plays on DraftKings? For me, it's SVG, it's Kyle Busch, and then Daniel Suarez. That's the first 3 guys I would lock in. After that, it gets a little more difficult. I do not think this is a good cash week by any means. The previous 2 weeks, I think it was very easy plug and play who you're playing in cash. This week is definitely more difficult. I like it better for tournaments personally. Got a donut here from Booty Johnson. Appreciate that. Says McDowell, Gregson, or Bush Jones to fill out a team. If it's cash games, I would say Kyle Busch. If it's a tournament and you already have a chalky lineup, I would say Michael McDowell there. He is one of my more favorite pivots on this slate. His practice looked really good. If we can pull up his practice, actually looking at his group, I believe he was what, Group A? Yeah, so we'll select Group A here if you want to compare it. I mean, he pretty much had the best times overall. And even when you throw in Group B, he's still one of the best cars on the track. And he's no slouch at road courses. So, I mean, if it's cash games, it's obviously Kyle Busch. But tournaments, I think Michael McDowell makes sense as a guy that can run top 5. I mean, because if anyone comes into issues, typically Kyle Busch is near the top of the list. He just has a really nice built-in floor. What's up, Penske? Hope you're doing well as well. Who do you think is going to finish higher, Zilich or SVG? I would have SVG over Zilich. I would have Reddick over Byron, and I would have Ross Chastain over Kyle Busch. As far as Briscoe or Gibbs is concerned, it's got to be very close. I have Chase Briscoe. Yeah, Chase Briscoe. What's up, Conscious? Good to see you. Says Hocevar to wreck SVG earlier, then go on to win. Oh, man, I don't know about Hocevar winning a road course. I really do not trust him. And plus, after last week, I'm sure many people would be very happy to give him the bumper if they're behind him, that's for sure. But yeah, I hope the races are as good as they were yesterday. I mean, the truck race was awesome. I was a little skeptical going to St. Pete, but I thought they put on a fantastic show. Had a nice 3-horse race at the end with Ty Majeski, Lane Riggs, and Ben Rhodes. I actually thought it sounded like Riggs was going to run out of gas, and then the 2 Fords behind him were coming close, but he ended up holding them off. What's up, Tito? Truex. Yeah, I think you got to give up the Truex thing. The days are over. What's up, Dustin? I think my boy Busher doesn't win, but it's a good PD play today. Hope you win big one. Thanks for the hard work. Appreciate that, Dustin. And yeah, I mean, Busher's just been so solid at road courses. He's got the best average finish of them in the next gen. Typically not like super elite on speed. He'll contend for a top 5 here and there. He does have that win at Watkins Glen, but he usually just finds himself in that 5th to 10th place range. Really, I wish he would start a little bit further back today. Like, my projections really don't love Busher. I still have 25% of him in 20 max. And 150 max, it's about similar, but just trying to mix it up because, I mean, scoring on road courses, especially over on FanDuel, are so tight. I mean, I'll have like 20 drivers within like a 5 to 8 point projection range. So it's pretty easy to manipulate if you want to get certain drivers. It's one of those tracks where you kind of have to go more on feel. I mean, projections obviously do matter, and so does data, but it's kind of like a instinct or feel track, if that makes sense, a little bit more than normal. What's up, C. Mitch? Good to see you. Happy race day. He says, I believe, 7 minutes, a little bit over today. Crypto says, Kyle Larson wins today? Maybe. I mean, this definitely hasn't been his best road course in the world. Very good at Sonoma. He's been solid at Watkins Glen. So far, COTA in the next gen has kind of had his number. Only one top 15, running position of 20th, drive rating of 70. Pretty far off his counterparts that are also in this price range. We'll see. I do have him in one of my 3 max lines. And in my single entries, I actually have Chase Elliott in both of them. I'm kind of thinking about maybe taking him out of one of them to put in Kyle Larson, but we'll see. What's up, Bull? Or should I say the co-host of the Slide Job podcast. Give you a little bit of shout out there. But good to see you. And yeah, what a day for NASCAR. I like COTA. I mean, I'm not a big road course fan, but COTA does usually get pretty exciting. And I'm hoping with this added horsepower this year, I think it should have a fairly solid race. Hopefully it's just not SVG winning by 20 seconds. Does Reddick get a three-peat like Belt last year? He might. I mean, Reddick looks awesome today. I mean, he just crushes COTA. Next scenario, I mean, he's been the man here. No finishes outside the top 5. Has a win, the best driver rating, best running position, the best average finish. I was really surprised. DraftKings, well, a couple books, but DraftKings is the one I got it on. He was minus 120 for a top 10 when lines came out, I believe on Tuesday or Wednesday. I mean, it seemed like a very obvious get to me. I ended up putting actually 2 units on that, which I usually don't go above, usually above 1-ish. So I grabbed that. I think that's now at minus 300. So when you got to like the CLV on that. And then I grabbed Chase Elliott at plus 115 for a top 10 as well. I was really surprised about some of those top 10 numbers. Usually when they just beef up SVG like they usually do, I mean, the other numbers around them usually are like way too inflated. Way too inflated. So we'll see how that ends up going. Obviously, I love those 2 bets. They both start in the top 5 and they both look fantastic in practice. So, well, practice and qualifying, I should say. Look, the Toyotas in general really were not that good in practice, but I like what I saw out of qualifying. Appreciate the dono, Pugsley. What's up, everyone? I missed the first few streams. No problem at all. Went with the 45, 9, 88, 48, 60, and 35 in GPP. What do we think? Like, I mean, obviously Riley Herbst sucks. We know that, but I mean, if it gets you the rest, I have no issues with it. And Riley Herbst did wheel his way to a top 20 last year. And like I said, all these guys suck. They're cheap for a reason, but I mean, 1 or 2 of them should at least have some resemblance of value today. And if they get you the studs you want in, by all means, go for it. I believe he finished 17th here last year, right? Looking at COTA, yeah, started 31st, finished 17th, running position of 22nd, which is really not that bad. Good for 40 fantasy points. Could be way worse. What's up, Mom? Good to have you here. I gotta be honest, not playing any of your guy today, Joey Logano. I really just don't usually play him at road courses. I think in my 150 max, it slipped into like 4% of lines, so who knows? Maybe that'll be the one. What's up, CJ? What's up, Astra? Good to see you both. Says you need a good week. Astro's smoking you. Hopefully you do, CJ. Hopefully, but always good to see you. All the way from Hawaii. JT says he has so little Reddick today, it scares me. That would be kind of scary. I mean, he's obviously pretty awesome here. Great at road courses. I kind of faded a bit at them last year. I mean, green flag speed-wise, he wasn't anything fantastic. We can pull up his numbers, but I have a hard time seeing him be bad at COTA. So let's pull up the road courses. Tyler Reddick, he's 5th at COTA in green flag speed. Horrible at Mexico. I remember that race, and it really wasn't. I don't really think it was an issue. I just think it was kind of slow in that one. But then 10th, 11th, 19th, 11th, there was definitely a drop off. Because I mean, if we look at a year like 2024, I'm pretty sure he was much better. Yeah, 4th, 7th, 12th. Bad race at Watkins Glen, then 10th. If you look at 2023, Tyler Reddick, yeah. So last year was kind of a down year for him, but I do expect him to have a really strong showing today. I mean, I'd probably want him in the least around 30% of my lineups on DraftKings, FanDuel, slightly less, but who do I have as my top Dominator until SVG makes his way to the front? Tyler Reddick, just kind of talking about him, and then I also have Chase Elliott as a really good option for that, and also Ryan Blaney. Just based off the practice speeds, I had to give him some Dominator potential, and also Ross Chastain. I mean, tier 1, though, obviously it's going to be SVG and Tyler Reddick as the top doms today. Tier 2, I would say it's that mixture of Chase Elliott, Chastain, Ryan Blaney. Then tier 3, guys like Byron, Chase Briscoe, Christopher Bell. I really don't see Connor Z being a Dominator today. Obviously an excellent place differential play, but I have a hard time seeing him get up front. Could get some fast laps in. We saw that last year, but I doubt he gets up front unless strategy works his way. Let's see. Larson spotter screwed him last week. That was insane. Larson last week. It was just like that Family Guy gif where the lady turns left and just destroys the entire highway. There's an exact replica of that. Palmer says he just wants one Chase Elliott win. I'm happy. I mean, at some point it's going to happen at a road course again. Chase Elliott's kind of been saying all week, but he just feels underrated at this point at road courses. Like, he's still been fantastic at them, just can't get in the win column. Did win here at COTA pre-next gen, so I mean, if you're looking at the stats on the sheet here, he doesn't have any wins, but I'm only showing since 2022, 2021 when he got that win. But I mean, it's coming. I mean, he's still fast, one of the fastest cars on the track consistently at road courses, great finisher, and as long as he doesn't get taken out early, like before, I mean, Chase Elliott should be there the majority of the day. Is it crazy not to play both SVG and Connor Z today? In the same lap, I don't think it's crazy at all to fade one of them. I really like the builds. I really like the way builds look when you do fade one of them. It's also going to be such a high-owned combination. Because if you play both of them, I mean, if we just head over to like the hand builder here. So if we go to DraftKings, you throw both these guys in, we're left with 6,300 left per driver. And a lot of people want to play Kyle Busch. Now we're left with 58. So I mean, we're looking at this range of Noah Gragson, Nemechek, Eric Jones, just a bunch of junk. So you throw in Ricky Stenhouse, you throw in Eric Jones, you have 65 left. You're just missing out on a guy like Daniel Suarez. You can throw in Bubba Wallace, but I just kind of hate the way this line. I know my head's in the way. 1 second. And you have Connor Z, you have Shane, Kyle Busch, which is solid, and then you have Bubba Wallace, Eric Jones, Ricky Stenhouse. I really don't like the way it looks. But if we just play one of them, like an SVG, we could easily slide in like an Alex Bowman, a Kyle Busch, Ryan Blaney, or Michael McDowell, whoever you prefer. We still have two more drivers, and we're in that 6,800 range. We can play Daniel Suarez, who I think is a really good play today. Can't quite get to Ryan Preece, but even then you can play Bubba, and I just think that looks so much better. I mean, I'm not disputing the fact that both Shane and Connor are amazing elite plays today. They project the most by quite a bit. But you also have to think about what the rest of your lineup looks like. Like in Xfinity yesterday, I did not play Shane or Connor Z, which I know is a different situation from Cup. And Shane won the race, scored 60 points, which was good, obviously, but still ended up cashing without either. Like, it's not like you're completely dead in the water. They have to put up a lot of points. So I definitely don't think it's crazy to leave one of them out. But I mean, they're obviously my two highest owned drivers, but there's really not that many combinations of them both together, I don't think. What's up, Charles? Pick one of the three. Hamlin, Suarez, Austin, Dillon. My head says Suarez immediately, but tire wear, Hamlin. Yeah, but it's still a road course. I'm gonna ride with Daniel Suarez there. I trust him a little bit more, which sounds crazy to say. But I am not really huge on Denny at the road courses. Also, Daniel Suarez had a really good practice session yesterday. On the surface, Denny Hamlin didn't look that great. I think when we looked at the chart, he was pretty consistent as far as not really falling off too much. Pull his stuff up really quick. Let me find old Dennis here somewhere. I like comparing it to the rest of the field. I mean, it's not like elite speed or anything, but he wasn't really like lopsided. The route just kind of steady running mid, which is where he started. I mean, he's probably going to finish right around where he starts, if I had to guess. Quick question, Daniel Suarez or Wallace on DraftKings? I'm going to go with Daniel Suarez there. I just really like Suarez. Hopefully he doesn't screw us. I know he's not with Trackhouse anymore, and Trackhouse does run really well at COTA, but I still think Spire. I mean, Spire's not junk by any means. I think he'll be fine. There was a diamond catastrophe. What's up, Anthony? Stop picking lawyer. What's up, Hunter? Glad to have you here. Hopefully we can wrangle the FanDuel single entry and 20 max streets today. Didn't enjoy how Atlanta ended last week. Did not enjoy Christopher Bell getting dumped by Carson Hocevar. That was not a fun time for me. So Jordan, just thinking how Elliott started in the back last year in this race, and you have guys like Busch and Zilich starting 20th or worse today. Do you think they'll move forward at all? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Zilich should be, if all goes well today and there's not an issue on pit road, Zilich really doesn't have any reason to, at the very least, be a top 10 contender, if not top 5. He's just that good at road courses. Kyle Busch, I'm not expecting elite speed out of him, but I just really don't think he'll make too many mistakes today. He's better at the technical road courses, so should be able to at least flash him with the skill he has left. So, yeah, I mean, I definitely think they should be able to move forward for sure. What's up, Bob? 20 lineups, what is the highest percent you would put on one driver? The highest I went was 65. But that was on FanDuel. On DraftKings, I mean, if you really want to push it, 70, 75. FanDuel scoring is just so tight. On DraftKings, I feel like it's a little bit easier to get more of a tighter core going higher up. But on FanDuel, I tend to spread it out a little bit more. I still have a core, but projections are so much tighter over there. What's up, Fence Ripper? CP on my screen means money coming in. Let's hope so. Good to have you here. Gloop says he's taking the 100K today. You might have to fight with other people about that. They might want to take it down too. 48 for the top 10. I mean, Alex Bowman's been incredible here at COTA. I mean, I'm not saying I'm projecting him for a 4.5 finish today, but average finish of 4.5 in 4 races, 4 top 10s, 3 top 5s. Was very close to winning in 2022 when he was banging with AJ Allmendinger and Ross Chastain for the win at the end. Ross obviously got the best of them. Dinger ended up finishing like in the 30s, but they were all close. So Draft Man, do I play NASCAR one and done? Is it something you can cover for each race as part of your preview videos? I personally do not. I mean, I'd be happy to answer a question, but it's probably too late when the live stream comes out anyway. But as of right now, it's not something I've done it once, and then I just kept forgetting to do my picks, so it was useless anyway. So I do apologize. Oh, let's see. Bad says Jones, Stenhouse, or Gregson for upside. Those guys don't really belong with the word upside. But man, if I have to pick one, I guess I'm going with Eric Jones. But I'll be honest, I hate them all. It's just going to take random variants. I mean, these guys are just not really going to get their own speed. Highly doubt. No, Gregson did have a good finish here last year. But yeah, pretty brutal all around down low. I think he started 17th and finished 11th. Finished 8th, yeah. 17th, finished 8th. Todd Gilliland was someone that's, I mean, he doesn't project amazing just because he's starting 17th. It's hard to have guys that start that high. But it's one of those things where, you know, projections, obviously they're great to have like a baseline, of course. But road courses, I try to put a little bit of more of a feel to. I mentioned that earlier. And Todd Gilliland's a guy that I feel like can outperform his projection. For sure. I mean, his numbers at COTA are really good. Average finish 15.8 in 4 races, 3 top 20s, 2 top 10s. All these guys in the back, if they just like finish around 28th, and you get Gilly finishing 12th, I mean, you're going to have a leg up on the field in tournaments. Obviously not a cash play, but it is intriguing to me. Also kind of interesting on FanDuel as well. Thoughts on the lineup for cash today? SVG, Suarez, Busch, Priest, Cindric, and Bowman. You think this will be a common lineup? Yeah, I could definitely see him having some ownership for sure. But yeah, I mean, you have the man, SVG, and everything else is place differential, so I can't really hate on that cash games. Ready going for the 3P like MJ and the Bulls? You might. I think Michael Jordan negotiated like 10 extra horsepower for Tyler Reddick as a part of their settlement deal or something. I swear he restarted with 10 laps to go at Atlanta. He was like in 21st, wrecked, and then he just wins the race. What's up, Michael? Best forward. Love your show, dude. Appreciate that. Says, sad showing in super speedways. Hey, that's how it goes sometimes. Don't beat yourself up. So I do want to mention best forward. I currently have that projected as Ryan Blaney, but there was some awesome odds on Hard Rock last night. I don't know if they're still there. I checked the DraftKings odds. They're not replicated, but you could get for the forwards. Let me see where I have it. Manufactured. Yeah. So you could get Zane Smith as the top forward last night for plus 3,000, and you could get Todd Gilliland at plus 5,000. So I hit those. I don't know if they moved yet. If they haven't on Hard Rock, I'd recommend betting those. Obviously not a lot. I put 0.4 units on that, but really nice payout. I just think that's a mispricing. I mean, I know Blaney looked amazing, but they had some crazy odds on him. And they also had some crazy odds on their groups. I don't do group sims, but just eyeballing it, they look really good. But yeah, if you can get Gilly at plus 5,000 still for top Ford, or Zane Smith at plus 3,000, I really like that. Mr. Guy says he tried to make a top 10 parlay and they said it's not. Yeah, someone hit, I think it was on FanDuel for the Daytona Summer Race like 2 or 3 years ago when the entire field wrecked, and it was like BJ McLeod, Cody Ware, the guys that are even worse than them were in the top 10, and they had a parlay for that and it hit for $1 million. So books don't usually offer that anymore because they got hit pretty hard on that. Cup should do St. Pete's. Trucks are moving. I thought St. Pete was awesome. If Cup goes to St. Pete, I will try to go to that race. It's not a far drive for me. But yeah, Trucks was fun. What's up, my other Ohio friend? Happy race day to you as well. What's up, Silva? Appreciate you being here, sir. Always good to see you. Let's see. Torres, if you play both Connor and SVG in the same lineup, you may actually play 2 punts to put together a respectable lineup. That's the thing. I just really don't like the 2 punts. I mean, no disagreement that SVG and Connor are the best plays today, bar none. I mean, they're awesome, right? But it's just very, very difficult when you look at the end. Now, almost every single one of my lineups has at least one of them in there, but it is tough to get both. And yeah, I am behind in the chat, so I'll get to your question. I try to go in order. Sometimes I'll jump around a little bit, but I'm here to answer questions. So, what are my thoughts on Bubba? He's just very, very mid at road courses. Mid might even be a little bit generous. I think if he has a top 20, he usually considers that a really good day at a road course. But for where he's starting, I mean, I think his upside's better than guys like Brad Keselowski today. I think finishing position potential is probably on par with Carson Hocevar. You get him double the spots further back. But I prefer Daniel Suarez. I think him and Ryan Preece are close. But I do like Suarez the most in that price range. And I do like him more than Austin Dillon. Is Eric Jones good chalk? I mean, probably not. I mean, none of these guys are good. I mean, I hate to just make it as simple as that, but on speed, these guys are not going to crush the field. I mean, they're starting in the back for a reason. They're just, you really shouldn't expect anything. It's just going to take some shuffling. Do I think Eric Jones is probably the second worst car here? I think unlikely, but he's probably not too far off from it. Yeah, you got it, Bull. What's up, Doug? In GPP, is it good to fade SVG and Zilich? I'll be honest, man. I just really like them. My stuff says they're negative leverage, but I tried, when I'm putting them together, I try to make lower owned pivots with them to make it make more sense. So I'm pretty heavy on them. So Caro, new to road course DFS, is finishing position more important than down points and PD points. It's really just a mixture. Carl, it's hard to say one is way more important than the other. It also depends on what the grid looks like. Like if we had all of these guys in the 30s and these guys in the top 10, I mean, these are clearly the better plays. But even then, it's just kind of like a hybrid. So if we look at, and we can pull up last year's COTA race. Just take a second. Circuit America, 2025, yeah. So if we're looking at the highest scores here, you have Christopher Bell in 19th, just like a pretty awesome hybrid play there. You have Kyle Busch in 8th, so a guy starting in the top 10. William Byron in 15th, Buescher in 24th, Bowman in 21st. Reddick was on the pole and led 9 laps. That rate scored 42 points, which is actually not too far off my projection for him today. But it's kind of a mixed bag. It's not like it's a pure PD plays. Kind of curious to see who started in the back and how they scored in this race. So we had Cody Ware starting dead last, ends up actually finishing 31st for 16 points. Cindric in 36, Barry in 35th. Like, you really shouldn't expect these guys to contend for top 10s, top 15s, but I mean, they can get you some points. Riley Herbst absolutely crushed it. Justin Haley crushed it. mean, you're obviously going to have some misses, but it's a mixed bag. It's really not one or the other. Now, Dominator points can't really add up as much here just due to the fact that there's not that many laps. There's less than 100. So if you times that by 0.7, we're talking less than 70 total Dominator points. But if there is a main Dom and they finish in the top 5, typically you will want them. Meanwhile, like at a super speedway, that usually wouldn't matter as much. Appreciate the dono, almost said CP, Choke Hold'em. Can I have 5 drivers to remove from my pool? Guys, I am just really not getting to Cody Ware, Ty Dillon, Josh Berry, Cole Custer. Going up the list here. Zane Smith's really tough for DFS purposes. Carson Hocevar is really tough for me in DFS. Joey Logano. Chase Briscoe. I mean, I have a really bad history of either fading Chase Briscoe or playing Chase Briscoe, but Briscoe is a really tough guy to get to for me. So, kind of like the very quick fade list. Those guys, if any of those guys are optimal, I'll be in a little bit of trouble today. Just says, do I need to leave the Discord and rejoin for the channels to show up? You can try. For some reason, sometimes it works flawless to connect your role to get in the right chats, and sometimes it doesn't. So if it's not working, you can try that. If not, once I get off the stream, I'll get you in the NASCAR room. I really don't know. I have no idea why it works sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't. Can I play a lineup with 2 pay-up options? You can. I don't know if you just mean SVG or Connor Zilic, but I would kind of prefer like an SVG with a Tyler Reddick or an SVG with a Chase Elliott. I just think that looks so much better. Hayek Motorsports, never heard of them. I mean, we're not the super speeders anymore, so you probably won't hear from them much anymore. Eric Jones or Gragson for cash. I mean, I have a slight preference to Eric Jones with just PD spot, but brutal. What's that, spreader? Should we X out Love? That car sucks. No, I don't think so. I don't think it's gonna be the worst car on the track heater. I wouldn't X him out. Bush climb up. I don't think Bush is gonna win today, but I mean, he should be like in that top 15 range. I think by the end of the day, but I would be very, very shocked if Kyle Busch is in contention to win. Priest or Hamlin, last spot in cash. I'll go with Ryan Priest there, Nick. Riley or Jesse? Man. I want to say I have Riley or Herbst just a little bit higher. Only got Reddick in like 15-20%, says JT. I don't think you're going to be like too far off the field. I'm expecting him in like that 25 to 30% range. So, I mean, it's not like you're going to be dead in the water. Pugsley says, are we still confident in your boy Blaney? I am. I mean, there's obviously downside with where he is starting, but I mean, if the practice speed shows up in any amount during the actual race, as long as he doesn't screw up, I mean, he looks fantastic. I showed this in the video, but I mean, Ryan Blaney was so fast in practice. I have the fast laps in practice highlighted green, and as you can see, I mean, Blaney was just crushing it. And if we look at the chart here, again, a mess, but we'll highlight Blaney just every single time. He is the man. So we'll see. Fourth is a tough spot, but I do think he'll just be one of those guys that's fast all day. Maybe gets a fast lap or 2, hangs around the top 8, and at that price point on both sides, he'll probably be pretty happy with the score. Of course, things can get torpedoed. You have an issue on pit road, of course, but you know, that's the risk you play with starting in 4th, but I do think he's a really good option. Eric Jones hate road courses, but has PD upside. Yeah, that's exactly it. And that's the only thing I can say. Like, he's gonna suck today, but can he finish 26? Yeah, could. It's not going to be speed based, but just shuffling, a guy has an issue, someone spins, someone DNFs, and what do you know? You gain 10 spots just by doing nothing. What are my picks for a DK Fantasy Classic lineup? Well, pretty much the guys I've been talking about. Hello, Ms. Jules. Hopefully you're having fun baking. Happy race to everyone. Go Blaney. Yeah, we're on the Blaney train today, so hopefully it doesn't let us down. I thought him and Austin Cindric were going to have a chance to win last week until Carson Hocevar killed that line, and they just ended up fading back and then just couldn't get back up to the front. What's up, Rick? So much racing today? Absolutely. Had to mute Bob. He was going to pull IndyCar on us. So I had to take him out back. Any fantasy live this year, says Chase. Keep working, dude. Appreciate your hard work. Appreciate that, Chase. But no fantasy live for me. It's just not something if I don't care about it, I don't want to do it. I mean, I care about this stuff. I like it, so I do it. But it's tough for me to do something I just don't like. I did play it before, but I kept forgetting to set a lineup, and it just doesn't interest me as much. Would you run any min-max rule for top 10? I don't really think so. I mean, as far as my ownership is concerned, Tyler Reddick. I mean, the only ones I really don't have in the top, because you can play them together. Like, I have lineups with Tyler Reddick, Ryan Blaney, and Michael McDowell in it, or a combination of like AJ Allmendinger, McDowell, Blaney, or Elliott. I would say the max I usually have is 3, though. Says, I hope I can win first place, 100K, and delete DraftKings and never do it again. That'd probably be very smart, Clues. That'd be very smart. My friend Sean, who's in here, he won the Millie, and he will still play $8 contests or something if he doesn't want to play that much, then he'll still get mad about it. So that's the way to play. If you win a Millie, win 100K, you don't start entering the Thunderdome every day and donate it back to DK. Play the same you used to, and then enjoy your profits. Zip all in. Buddy Quinn says, let's say Reddick leads 20 laps. What's the heat map for his finishing position to still produce a top score? Well, I mean, I have him projected for like 16 or 17 laps today with some fast laps. Obviously, fast laps can be a little bit more harder to project. And then I have him right around a 7th place finish, which is technically second. But you guys know I don't project just straight up 1, 2, 3, because that's not how you should project things. Because you have to add in variables and things like that. But that still puts him around 45 points. So let's say he actually finished first and gets those laps led and Dominator points. I mean, we could be looking at 50 plus points easily in that regard. And that might even be on the lower end as far as a Dominator projection. So if he can lead 25, 30 laps and finish top 5, I think you'll be fairly happy with the score you get. But it'll just depend on what SVG and Trackhouse does at that point. I mean, because if SVG wins, leads 30 laps, and Connor Z finishes second, Tyler Reddick's not going to matter anymore. So there's multiple other things that have to go your way. Yeah, I'm very excited they're doing the 750. More horsepower, the better. More tire fall off, the better. That's what we want. Who out of the expensive guys can we fade for 20 max? Well, the lowest ones I have right now are Byron and Bell, which sounds horrible to say because I always play them here. But I have so much Connor and SVG, it just doesn't fit, I also don't have much Briscoe. I mean, those are the guys I'm just really not getting to up there. Any McDowell lover? Do you think he's going to get spun out? Shoot, Dustin, if I knew who was going to get spun out today, I would be a rich, rich man. Rich man. That's for sure. But no, I have no idea. I hope he doesn't get spun out. I have a good chunk of Michael McDowell today. I'll have to get working on the who gets spun out model. That's right after the who gets wrecked at a super speedway model. I'm just messing with you though. What's up, King? Top 5 drivers you think will get plus 15 place differential. Well, I don't have the exact number on a sheet here, but I would say the guys most likely that could gain 15 spots: Kyle Busch, Ryan Preece, Austin Cindric, Connor Z, Daniel Suarez. I'd say Alex Bowman, but that means he wins the race, which probably doesn't happen. So I guess that's the end of the list right there. You don't like Love or Barry? I mean, Barry honestly just kind of really sucks at road courses. If I was going to play either, I'd go with Jesse Love. So grade A. Last week was brutal. Only 3 of 20 laps completed all the laps. Yeah, that was a tough one. At one point, it was a really, really good week, but that's what happens to super speedways. Bowman dies, Cindric dies. Blaney didn't die, but he half died. Tyler Reddick ends up gaining 20 spots and wins. Bell dies. Basically all the good plays. A few lived. Chase Briscoe, Denny Hamlin, but yeah, that was a tough one. My favorite GBB plays? Yeah, in the 20 max, I'm overweight on Michael McDowell, overweight on AJ Allmendinger, probably a little bit overweight on Connor Z and SVG. We'll see what the ownership ends up being like. Overweight on Alex Bowman, Ryan Blaney, those types. I definitely have a tighter. I mean, there's a lot of drivers I do not have ownership to in my 20 max on FanDuel. I'd say like pretty much like half the field's probably cut out in that. Because on on DraftKings, you can get away with a guy finishing 25th if he's cheap, just the way the roster construction is. If you have a guy finishing 25th on FanDuel, it's kind of a dead lineup. You really need just a entire line of guys that have the potential to finish top 10, top 15. And I really don't think there's that many of them in the field today, given how you can build roster construction wise. Any Gilly love on DraftKings? I think Gilly's fine for DK. No one's going to want to play him. He starts inside the top 20. You have so much other PD below him, but I mean, let's be honest. The finishing position upside, I think it's much higher for Todd Gilliland rather than like a Noah Gragson, Eric Jones, Ricky Stenhouse types for sure. Good luck to you as well, Andy. Thoughts on Cindric? I mean, Cindric, I think he's overrated road courses. He's always a safe bet for a 15th, 20th-ish place finish, which for where he's starting, that's perfectly fine today. I'm not in love with him. I found myself going to others more. I know he's a little bit more expensive, but Ryan Blaney, McDowell, Bowman, that kind of range. Suarez I like a little bit more. Ryan Preece. But I mean, he's okay though. Like for cash games, if you're looking for the floor, I get it. Average finish, I believe, of around 15th at COTA the past 4 races. Bowman and cash. You can play Bowman and cash today. Cash is hard. I think ownership's kind of tough to project today because I don't know how much of a bump Ryan Blaney's actually going to get. My stuff loves Blaney, which go figure. I'm the Blaney guy, right? I promise I'm not being biased on it. I didn't do any manual tweaking, but it'd be tough to say. I mean, are people going to just chase the PD even though the cars are much worse, or are they going to trust the speed? I don't know. It depends. One or two potential dominators in the lineup. I would say, I mean, kind of two. Like SVG, you can play SVG with Chase Elliott, SVG with Tyler Reddick quite easily. Or you can just play SVG with PD. But I think a lot of mine have two, I guess, because you can count Chase Elliott as a potential dominator. But even then, you could also count Ryan Blaney as a potential dominator. He's in the 7K range, so I would say probably two. Blaney or Bowman and GPP. Oh, man. I mean, those are like two of my favorite plays today. It's really difficult to pick between the two. I mean, Bowman's a bit safer and still solid for GPP, so I'll go with him. But, I mean, I love both. Can I power rank my AK drivers? Let's see what we got here. As far as my own personal exposure, I have Kyle Busch the most, then AJ Allmendinger, then Chastain, and then Buescher, which sounds crazy. That's just the way my lineup shaked out. And then Briscoe's last. Letter from Spreader, appreciate that. Says, if Blaney outworks SVG and Connor Z, the Discord would never forget it. Yeah, you got a lot. I know you're probably nervous today, Spread, because Spread's the biggest Blaney fan I know. And if things go wrong for Blaney, we typically all attack Spread. I mean, even though I love Blaney too, but we always just attack Spread and blame him. So you got your work cut out for you today, Spreader. No problem at all, Bob. Can I play a lineup without two pay-up options? Whew. I mean, you can. You could go really balanced. Kind of curious to see what something like that would look like. So let's just say we cut out these guys and we just go like straight balance. So we'll go like Chase Elliott, Dinger, Kyle Busch, Alex Bowman. We're still around $8,300, so you could fit in Chris Buescher. You could fit in... Shoot, you can just play everybody right here. That would leave $800 on the table. I mean, that's not a bad-looking lineup. Of course, you have to pray that Trackhouse doesn't murder you. But Elliott with Dinger, Chris Buescher, Kyle Busch, Alex Bowman, Michael McDowell. I mean, all of those guys could finish top 10, which is kind of what you're looking for on this slate. So, yeah, you can definitely do it. Yeah, that's a tough one, Dustin, because obviously they changed the format, so it's going to be the $1 million question today. Who's going to stay out for points? Who's going for the race win? Obviously, you can kind of do both sometimes if you're that good, but we'll see. That's a little bit of a guessing game this week. Busher is plus 420 head to head versus Chastain on 365. Yeah, 365 notoriously just has such bad, or I guess in our sense, good odds for things. So yeah, I like that. Any love for Hamlin today? Not really. I think he found his way in like 5 to 10% of my lineups. I didn't put him in. I didn't put a max. That's just where he landed on. So I said, okay, Danny, you can come in, but it wasn't anything that I forced in. But single entries, 3 maxes, I did not click on any Denny Hamlin. What about Custer? Custer chart's a little too far up for me. What's up, Carmi? We got Elliott at plus 2,000 to win and plus 400 top 3 for bets. What's your favorite today? My favorite bets? Well, on Hard Rock, I don't know if they're still available. I got Zane Smith top 4 at plus 3,000, Todd Gillen at plus 5,000, and then the other ones are just not going to happen. I mean, they're not available anymore. So it's Reddick top 10 at minus 120 and Chase Elliott at plus 115. And that's all I have. Not added anything else. Last minute on FanDuel, Bowman, Busher, Dinger, or McDowell. Lineup has SVG, Bush, Gibbs, Chastain, and a 20 max. Well, you already have a guy in second, a guy in ninth. I think I'm going to have to go Bowman there, Zarn. I have to go with the Bow God. Kosovar or Hamlin? Guess Hamlin. Don't have much of either, though. Where's our boy Haley? Nobody wanted him. He drives a Ram in the Truck Series. I guess they wanted him. That's it. Where would you go with 7,400 left for a guy in DraftKings? That's Ryan Blaney, right? Ah, just missed right. Man, just missed all the good plays. I can see why you're asking. Oh boy, I'd probably go with Austin Cindric there. Or actually, I take that back. I'm sorry. I'd go with Daniel Suarez if you'd already have him. What plays make cash in GPP? I mean, cash, you're just looking for those safer floor, higher owned guys. GPP, trying to pivot, unless you're asking me who those guys are. I mean, if it's cash gains, the starting point for me today is SVG, Kyle Busch, and Daniel Suarez. Shane Van Cheeseburger not winning today. I don't know, man. He looks really good. I think he's going to be really good on long runs today. Maybe he won't fire off super quick, but once those tires wear out and we get deep into runs, I think he's going to be very, very difficult to compete with. I would not fade SVG personally, Mundo. Gillen or Zane Smith, I'll go with Gilly there. Hey, Chris, anyone you're overweight on today? I'm going to be overweight on Blaney, McDowell, Alex Bowman. Not naming the complete obvious plays up top. What are your rules for how many to play from the top 10? Is too many? I think threes. After 3, you're probably getting too much. After 3. SVG lock in cash. I would play him in cash, absolutely. Hunter says smash that like button. I agree. Oops. Anyone to the back? I have not seen from Bob. I can pull up his. Let me pull it up on my phone here. I had to meet Bob today. He was just too much IndyCar propaganda. I couldn't do it. Whoops. I haven't seen anybody important to the rear, although he is just spamming IndyCar, unfortunately. So I probably scrolled through 30 tweets and it's all IndyCar. No, I haven't seen anything, so should be good. But if you guys see something, let me know. Yeah, his main tweet didn't mention it. Oh boy. Do you like SVG and Zilich as part of money lineup? Absolutely. Chris is the man. Let's get that 20K. Let's do it, Nathan. 48 thoughts. Yeah, I love Alex Bowman today. Priest or Hamlin last spot in cash. I'm going to go with Ryan Priest there. Chastain top 5. Well, I have Chastain finishing the top 5 roughly 41% of the time. Trackhouse cars should be strong today. He's also been very good here. What's up, Sean? Shizzy? Who would you pick to win the race that is not SVG? Well, next up, I would have Tyler Reddick. As far as outrights, Sean's basically my betting partner throughout the week, and we kind of agree on not betting outrights on anybody because it's just usually SVG slop fest. So we kind of stuck with the top 5, top 10 markets in that regard. Felt like the safer way to do it. But I mean, yeah, Tyler Reddick's up next. I think Chastain should be a contender. I think Ryan Blaney's got the speed for it, but I mean, Reddick will be good. Ricky, says Amy. Well, you said it, Ricky. He's not a great road course guy. I mean, he's not. I mean, these guys suck down here. It is what it is. It's not a super speed where everyone's on the same speed level, basically. If you're looking at his numbers at COTA, 4 race sample size, average finish 22nd. I mean, it's good. 2 top 20s, like, it's fine. But I wouldn't expect anything on speed. I mean, some of these guys have to finish bottom 10. They all can't finish top 20. Spread says Bob is the worst. Man, Bob isn't. He used to, whenever he was just fine with NASCAR, it was good. But I hate that he works Indy now. Suarez going to wreck. I hope not. Hope not. SVG won yesterday, winning again today. He's not winning again. Too heavy. This guy is very anti-Shane, but I hate to break it to you, but Shane has won many times in a row when he's been a heavy favorite. So it doesn't change anything in the universe. So whether he wins or not today is not going to be based off of that. Where do I have Suarez finishing? I have him at 16.9. Although keep in mind, guys, like I said, it's not a 1, 2, 3 spread. But I'm at 16.9. Angela, I think I was reading your message and I skipped it. Let me get back to it. Yeah, heavy rest day. Don't love the roads, but getting more used to it after getting to F1. All right, trusting SVG and Trackhouse today. He's got to be the question. Outside of those two, who's your next 3? Yeah, I do trust them. I trust Shane a little bit more than Connor. I mean, looking at his resume, looking at what he's done in the Cup Series in this car, there's just no reason to believe he can't replicate what he has done in the past. So yeah, I'm absolutely on that train today. But after that, as far as contenders, I mean, Chase Elliott, Tyler Reddick, Ross Chastain should be up there. What's up, C. Mitch? No problem. What percent is too much Bush? I probably wouldn't want to go above 50%. He is going to be pretty high owned, and there is other pivots in that range. So I think if you get to 50%, you're really pushing it. Maybe around 40%. I think my Sims have it around 40%. Yeah, no problem at all, Sean. Good to see you. What's up, Dan? Subscribe today. Good to have you here. Any chance you can include historical optimal lineups? I mean, I currently do not. I honestly don't find them that useful. I know a lot of people love them. I personally don't find them useful. Slate changes every year. Drivers change. Where guys start change. I just don't think it's something that I would really care to do. I know people like it. But if you always want them, I always direct people to Phil race sheets on Twitter. He pretty much posts them every single week. So if you want them, that's where they are. But I usually don't find them useful. How important is it to have one of SVG or Zillich? I'll be honest, Mr. Guy, I have it in almost every single lineup to have one of those. Almost every single one. Why do I like Bowman so much? Bowman's really good at COTA. I mean, he's got the second best average finish, only behind Tyler Reddick. He's a cheap Hendrick car. 10-star on the road course is very good. But in 4 races here, he's finished in the top 10 every single time. 3 top 5s. Average finish of 4.5. And he's just been really, really good. Conscious says, question step by step on DraftKings. How can you enter 5 or 20 entries without going to the lobby? Then NASCAR and score the contest reserve entry. I asked years ago, but didn't understand. If you just mean like reserving a contest and entering an upload, like you head over to the contest, you reserve it, and then you go to your CSV, download the CSV, download your lineups from whatever optimizer you were using, copy paste those lineups into that CSV on DraftKings and upload it. I don't know if I made it sound more complicated than it is, but it's like a really quick process. $457, 125. I wish it was a 1-to-1 ratio. I do, but it'll never be. But I do appreciate everyone here. Dinger, Bowman. I have a slight preference towards Bowman on that one. Getting your plug symbol. I'm gonna charge you. Just kidding. Let's see. Thoughts on Cole Custer today? He just starts a little bit too far up front for me. Very limited upside. It's not something I would force team correlation when the message is gone. I was reading it though. How do I feel about Kyle Busch on FanDuel where PD isn't worth as much? Yeah, I had the same thought before I was going to build, but projections still like him a lot. I do think he's a potential top 15 contender, and if you're going to do that starting in 30th, that's still more than enough at his price point. So yeah, I still like Kyle Busch, but there is a lot of pivots you can get to. Any Herps love? And yeah, you probably should cover your face asking that. It's not love. It's more of a, hey, he gets me Connor and he gets me Shane, so I'll do it, but that's it. Conscious says, optimizer sounds like what I'm lacking. Oh yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone's doing that 150 times, just pressing a button. Yeah. 3K in the table on FanDuel. Pushing it. If you don't mind, if you could tell me the lineup, I'd appreciate it. But you're pushing it there. I don't think mine really leave too much salary, but I did see a few that are like at 47.8 or 48.2, so it's not like it's far off. Does team correlation matter at this time? It's not something I would really care about when building. I mean, I'll have stabs of Trackhouse, stabs of Hendrick in my lineup and throughout. It's not like, not really doing like a full Hendrick build or a full Trackhouse build, anything like that. I'm just mainly just punching in the guys that have shown me they can be solid at road courses or throwing some speed this weekend, and I'm rolling with it. Thoughts on Chastain starting second? He does well at COTA now. I think he's a fine tournament dominator. I'm pretty sure when I was watching qualifying, I thought Ross was going to get the pole, and then he ends up messing up a part of the track. So we could be talking about Ross on the pole, and we know Trackhouse is really good here. On FanDuel, my ownership's kind of split up on him and Tyler Reddick. He also comes in a lot cheaper, like $3,000 cheaper on FanDuel. Or, I'm sorry, $2,000. And on DraftKings, he's, what, $1,400? So I don't mind the discount. I wouldn't play them both together, but he's definitely in the GPP pool as far as being a dominator. I have him in the tier 2. Maybe on a computer. Oh, you just mean reserving? I'm pretty sure you can like scroll and you can click to like how many lineups you want. Yeah, like on FanDuel, if I want to reserve a contest, that's a 150 max. Press reserve, and then I just like scroll it up. I can go all the way to 150. And it'll reserve me on 150. All right, you have SVG, Ross, Blaney, Suarez, McDowell. I'm surprised that leaves 3K on the table, honestly, just reading it. But yeah, that's perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. I really wouldn't go more than 3 in the top 10 today. Bunch of X's. Thoughts on Wallace? Super, super mid at road courses. I think he'll contend for a top 20, but it's probably about it as far as that is concerned. We know how good Connor Z is, but is he worth the second highest FanDuel salary with the jump to Cup? Byron Bell saved decent salary. I think he can be. I know if you're looking at his result from last year, it sucked, but he ended up, I forget exactly what happened. He ended up having to go back to the rear, worked his way back through the field, had 8 fast laps, which I believe was the second most of any driver, if I remember correctly. It was up there. And then he ends up getting tangled with Daniel Suarez, and his day ends up being killed. But he was extremely fast, and that was his first time. I think he should be, and especially for where he's starting now, starting 25th, I do think he'll be worth the price tag. Not in every single lineup, but yeah, I think he does deserve it. He was really strong in that race, just ends up getting killed by Daniel Suarez, which I'm sure a lot of people can say the same. Dripsy says, Godzilla's thankfully day isn't there to perform a pit maneuver. Yeah, it was funny. If you went on trending on Twitter yesterday, it was like Taliban and then whatever it was. And then Corey Day right after that. And then someone quote tweeted a tweet. It said, ISIS has a new leader, and it was a picture, like a quote tweet of Corey Day. Recky Stenhouse, just cheap PD in the back. That's really all I can say. I mean, he can gain 6 spots if you nail your top guys. That's it. But I mean, based off speed, these guys really aren't anything to talk about. Hocevar starting a bit far up for me. I really don't trust him not to spin or get spinned at some point in this race. It feels very risky for me. You don't have SVG or Zilich, but I like mine so much. I mean, I'm going to have like a small share of lineups that don't have one of those guys, but I mean, the vast majority of mine do. Not together, but yeah, he did. Ryan Blaney was awesome. I don't expect him to win by any means, but if he can run top 8 today, like consistently throughout the day, I think that's a really good day for Ryan Blaney. What do I think of a top 10 for Buescher and Bowman? For top 10, $100 pays $1,300. For like a parlay, I mean, I can tell you the odds I have for them to get top 10, but I personally, I don't know if you can parlay or not. I mean, for Alex Bowman, I have it at plus 212. For Chris Buescher, I have it at plus 184. Which I believe I saw this morning. DraftKings had Buescher like at plus 240, plus 260. Now, I do not live in a DraftKings legal state, so I have to make a phone call if I want to do that. So I didn't feel like going through the hassle for it. For a parlay, yeah, I can't say if it's my, I don't have parlay sims or odds for that because I don't bet parlays, but I mean, I do think both are usually very strong contenders for top 10s and road courses. So I'm not going to talk you off that. That DK top 20 throne token is going to skew 5 to 10% of each contest lineups. What is it? Like I said, I obviously do all the DraftKings predictions and everything and talk about that mainly because that's what you guys do, but I play on FanDuel mainly for the most part outside of Xfinity and trucks. So I don't know what whatever the token is, top 20. So on DK, you have SVG, Chastain, Busch, Blaney, Suarez, and Wallace for GPP. It's pretty solid. I mean, Wallace is really nothing to write home about, but I mean, if it's your last piece fit, I think about Wallace probably a lot better than having like an Eric Jones back there. So yeah, it's not too bad for tournaments. Yeah, you got Buescher at 240. I like that. Yeah, I like both of those. No problem, Jim. Says I'm trying to fill 20 lineups. Best 5. I have Buescher. I mean, Buescher is the best finisher road course next time. 9.4 average finish. Nobody else is in the single digits that has as large of a sample size as him. So you really can't talk anybody off of Buescher. He didn't really show elite speed or anything, but he just finds a way to be there at the end. Oh, okay. Forgot where it was. Can I talk a little bit about DOMs today? All these top 10 guys seem to blend in together projection-wise. Do you think this is more of a 2 or 3 as far as DOMs are concerned? Also, you can get away with 1 DOM line and 150 or reaching. I mean, yeah, for DOMs for me today, the main lap leaders I have projection-wise is SVG and Tyler Reddick. And then everybody else is battling for like just a handful of laps spread out. So Ryan Blaney's in there, Chase Elliott, Byron, Bell. They're just picking up the scraps basically. Ross Chastain, probably a tick above them. So I'm not really like targeting DOMs per se because like if Chase Elliott doesn't lead a lap today but finishes 3rd or 2nd with a couple of fast laps mixed in, I'm perfectly fine with that at his price point. But I do think it's going to be hard for others outside of Reddick, SVG to get too much. So, and since I'm not really rushing these guys as dominators, I'm just rushing them because they're pretty awesome at road courses, and I know they're going to be in contention to potentially lead laps. But I'm not really expecting anyone to run away with like 60 laps in this race. You have Buescher top 10 for only 155. Oh man, gotta shop around. I'm okay with Ryan Preece. I'd say he's actually pretty underrated at the road courses. Last year, he had some really good finishes outside of COTA, which I know is where we're at, but had an issue. 2v2 for DK Cash. Stenhouse Cindric or Gregson Bubba? Whew, I think I'm going to have to go with Stenhouse Cindric there. I would say Cindric's definitely a little better than Bubba was at road courses. And he starts a little bit further back, so we'll go with Cindric there. How do you like Love, SVG, Suarez, Zilich, Priest, and Gillen for money? And also Bush, Cindric, Hamlin, Priest. First one's pretty interesting. You went the double spend up with the two Trackhouse guys, but I really don't hate the punts. I mean, Gilly has legit top 15 upside. Jesse, I mean, I'd love to say I really know what to expect out of Jesse Love. I mean, his car wasn't horrible in practice. So I don't mind that. I think I like that one more than the second one. Let's see. I'm pretty sure I did Pugsley. Oh. Maybe not. I do apologize. For whatever reason, it's not me, I promise. For whatever reason, those ones don't show up for me. Usually they're highlighted at the top. Blaney or Elliott, similar position but upside. I would go with Chase Elliott there. They're very close in projection, but I trust Chase Elliott at a road course much more than Ryan Blaney. And I still have a lot of Ryan Blaney today. But if salary is not an issue, I mean, I trust Chase Elliott a lot more to just consistently put down good laps. 6,700 left. Go with Bubba. If you don't already have Suarez 69, isn't he? He is. Yeah, I'd have to go with... Yeah, because we don't get Cindric either. I'd have to go with Bubba. As awful as that sounds. You got Love for a top 10. What'd you get on it? I agree, Bull. Gotta get more likes. Gotta get more. Coach says being first in a double up for Spurs and Knicks. Playing cash for NBA Showdown? Oh boy. I play NBA like once or twice a week. Whenever it's the like 7 to 8 p.m. games, I play those. Those are like once a week, twice a week. Just not a big NBA fan for DFS purposes. Yeah, I don't know why, Pugsley. It's not me, though, I promise. Hopefully everything's going well, though. What do I think about Gilland? Gilland's probably one of the best tournament pivots for the cheap plays because there's just so much just junk PD back here, which I'm not saying they can't get there. And obviously Todd Gilliland's floor is much lower than the rest. But, I mean, he has an average finish of 15th at COTA. It's pretty good. Gregson, he's just cheap junk in the back. One or two of these guys is going to get there. I don't think it's right for us to act like we know which ones it's actually going to be. I mean, they're all bad. The only ones I think actually have good upside are Todd Gilliland and Zane Smith, but unfortunately they qualified high, which just makes it really tough for DFS. All right, I've been talking for a while, I think over an hour. So if you guys have any other questions, please let me know. Be more than happy to answer them. But we have Phoenix next week, first oval. We'll have a lot of track data for that. Says you get bored, you got to play something on the TV game. All right, I'll give you that, Conscious. Still got about an hour till the race. I'll give you that. Top 10, 8. Like plus 800. Make sure I didn't miss anything important from Bob yet. Probably still tweeting IndyCar spam. Yeah. Yeah, that's all it is. No problem. There's no problem with that, Conscious. I was just messing with you. No, I love sports too. Yeah, no problem at all, Steve. Appreciate you being here. What randomness would you use for your optimizer or for the optimizer? I typically, on DraftKings, I typically do 25%. That's pretty much standard for me everywhere. FanDuel, I use 10 just because the scoring is so tight. If I did 25 on FanDuel, it would be insane. And I did want to mention, someone mentioned this in the chat last week, and I was like, I probably should add that to the optimizer. So I added geometric mean to your builds. So if you wanted to do that to help remove duplications and everything, I still have the other ones we had, but I did add that, which, I mean, it really does build some much better lineups for for MMEs, GPs, whatever. What's my favorite lineup? Well, my favorite lineup's on FanDuel, and it's in one of the SEs. So if you see a Cleveland Indians logo, that's me. Yeah, no problem at all, Austin. Let me see what you asked. Just now able to tune in. Do we like SVG and Zillich lines? Okay, so I love both today, but I really like the Bills with just one of them in there, which I realize a lot of people are going to jam in both, which I totally understand. I just hate the punts today. I'm really trying to see if I can just get one of these guys in my lineup and then beat everybody else out with a lot of really good mid-range plays instead of having to double punt. And hopefully, Eric Jones finishes like 34th and Gregson finishes 33rd, and we can just outscore the rest with getting everybody else inside the top 15. That's kind of the approach I'm going. I do have, in my 3-max, I did build a double line, and it's actually on FanDuel. Don't copy me, but you can actually build a pretty good lineup with both. If you go with, I believe it had Ryan Priest. I want to say James. Is this it? Yeah, that's it. So I'll just flash it really quick, but you can actually build it with both, but that's the only one I did. But for the rest, I'm pretty much just one of them and then getting really solid plays with them, like a Chase Elliott instead, saving some money there. Adrian Allmendinger, Ross Chastain, loading up on those guys to build a really good balanced lineup. If I was playing one lineup today, Kyle, I would have SVG in it. Well, that's just kind of me, just kind of the way I'm building C-Mitch. I do understand if you're just standing in both, you're going to get fed Eric Jones, you're going to get fed Stenhouse. I don't have a lean on these guys. I would just be really kind of even split for the most part. But I'm trying to be a little different. Like in Xfinity, that's what people did. They put in Connor Z, who was $15,000 or whatever, and they went with a bunch of scrubs. Obviously, he had major issues. He didn't quite get that ceiling, so all the balanced lineups ended up actually being a little bit better. Gluck posted Larson news. Appreciate you guys looking. I can't be on two places at once. I guess Gluck's our man today since Bob wants to masquerade as an IndyCar guy. Yeah, okay, here we go. Jeff Gluck says the computer showed some abnormal readings related to Kyle Larson's engine when it was fired up this morning. The team spoke to NASCAR about what data it could access, and NASCAR's rule is if they plug in, team goes to the rear. So ultimately the team decided not to do that. They're heading to the grid and will start the race. So it doesn't sound like he is going to the rear. I got to be honest, that's kind of concerning to me. I might dump some of my Larson just a little bit. I don't. That is kind of concerning. I mean, what if it just dies? Yeah, I'm going to throw that out. I'm not going to change projections or anything because how the heck am I supposed to project that, right? But just throwing that out there, it's a little concerning. Smith says, just found Priest at top 10 at plus 1,300. Most books have him at plus 500. Well, shoot, yeah, if you can get line discrepancy like that, for sure. And I mean, he's been pretty underrated at the road courses, I'd say. Yeah, no problem at all, Carl. Glad I can help you out a little bit. Need either SVG or Bell. I don't think Bell is definitely in the need category anywhere. What's up, Jody? DK lineup. Reddick, Bell, McDowell, Suarez, Busch, and Bowman. Yeah, I love that. I mean, it obviously doesn't have the two Trackhouse guys, but it'll keep you different. I mean, you can still play chalky guys. If you don't have those two in your lineup, you can do whatever you want. Core 3. I mean, SVG. I mean, for cash games, SVG, Busch, and Daniel Suarez for me. Priest or Gillen, last driver in. I'd go with Ryan Priest there. What's up, Lena? Went rogue and picked Blaney for Work League. I threw Elliott in as well. Enjoy the race. Hopefully you enjoy as well. And hey, they're two fast cars, both starting in the top 5, so I don't hate it. All right, I've been live forever, so I'll probably pop out of here. Appreciate you guys being here. I'll see you next week for Phoenix. I think it's a 3 p.m. start time, so I guess probably same time as usual for the live stream. But I wish you all the best. Yeah, I'll see y'all next time.